to the whole system just then. So let's get everything back in row. Sorry guys. All right, let's get the quarterfinal or the bronze match underway. I'll update this. Sorry guys. Let me get the Twitch streak back up. All right, Richie. All right, we're gonna get the. Let me get this back up on the projector for everyone in the venue. Boom. Okay, Twitch chat box. Show URL. Copy. And then go for it. Just you can grab the mic, my friend.
Okay, right now?
Get him going, yeah, please.
And it's going to be
Johnny Bond versus Matt Tecchio. The third. Can you, John? So classic, everything reset. So I got to take autofocus off all the cabs. What a lovely. Why, mate? Why doesn't it remember? That's okay. Oh, there's a power button down the bottom back. Right down the bottom above the power. Keep going down the back. That's it. Go up a bit. Yep. Yeah, we're doing playoff for third now.
How's everyone going? Johnny Bond? We're having a special thing called the bronze match. It is Matt versus Johnny for third place. Alright? So I think this is a little bit of a
sound is good?
special thing we've never done before where someone gets third place. I don't know, what do they get for third place?
Some merchandise and a voucher.
A voucher?
Sweet.
And some other things. Okay, so what cabinets are you playing on? All right, one cab in the middle. I can't see why that's a problem. Actually, I'll play in the middle, so you guys can't see each other. I want that kill screen bouncy. Everybody here, raise your hand if you're having a good time. God bless. You guys are good people. Who didn't raise the hand? I'll kill him. Okay, well, Johnny, I don't know what you're doing.
Oh, I need my water now. I have a plug here.
I don't know. You going out for a cigarette with Estelle?
Hi guys, the mic's back. It's all working, I hear. I can see it working.
All right, put the coins in.
And I want to test something.
Oh,
I hope this
Johnny was
works.
fired.
Just let me know if you can hear this. I
Put the
just want to
coins
get
in. All right, on. Oh my God. That's mine. Okay, are you ready? Audience participation again. Girls in the back. Would you please help me with the countdown? 3, 2, 1.
Hey, George.
Ready?
I'll just wait
3,
for
2, 1. Let's go!
Just waiting for Richard to finish now. Let's see if this works. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll just give me 1 second. So, George, I've got George Riley on the phone. Just want to see if we can get this working rather than trying to Skype. We had a lot of delay yesterday. So, George, do you want to give us a bit of an intro and see if people on the stream can hear?
Oh, I can hear your.
No, I think. Let me ring you back. There's something wrong with mine. There's something wrong here. Let me just ring you back. I haven't connected well enough. Hang on. It doesn't sound that loud. Maybe because it's so loud in here. Maybe call me and we'll see if that works. Just trying to work something out, see if this works. George. Yeah, it's not very loud. I'll just see if anyone can hear, if you just give us the alphabet or something. Can anyone hear this at all?
Yeah, can you hear me now? No.
No, it's not loud enough over the... No, it's not loud enough over the crowd. The background noise is just too loud. Yeah, they're saying very little, yeah. Leave it with me. We'll have to get... I might talk to Jimmy and see if we just try and call you in with the Skype. Oh, you don't have Skype. I'll talk to him about Facebook Messenger and see what we get. Leave it with me and I'll see what we can do before the finals. All right, cheers, man. Sorry. But you're gonna watch it anyway, aren't you? So you're gonna watch through it. Yeah, you're gonna watch it through anyway. So if I... All right, cheers, mate. Talk to you soon. Bye, buddy. Yeah, I wanted to get George Riley in. That was my plan originally, but it's a complicated story regarding Skype. It's pretty weird, but he can't use Skype and blah, blah, blah. Anyway, we'll try and figure something out later on. It wasn't about that. I just think that George has a particular insight to the game that would be good to hear. It's not making it about George Riley at all. It just added a different perspective, which would have been fun to have. You know, I think he's got a mind for like an analytical sort of journalistic approach to this, which I quite enjoy. It would have been good to have him on. We still might get him on, but yeah, we're not making it about. Well, it's not about George. It's not like he's coming on as a guest as such. You know, it's more about having him in as another insight to the competition so far. You know. Anyway, here we are. We're playing for third place, and Matt Tecchio has been. Not even just a dark horse, really just a completely unknown person, you know, like coming in yesterday, and I suppose that is the dark horse, but even more so just a complete unknown, and having to be facing, you know, as far as the leaderboard goes, the strongest player here, which was Ethan Daniels, and managing to, you know, take that game is pretty impressive. Anyway, and here he is now, and then. Now he's up against Johnny Bond, who's had a few mixed games. You know, he's had a few good things go his way and bad things going away. So, well, that's Donkey Kong, but should hopefully be I imagine it could become quite a long game, this one. I think both players have been playing, I think, from the little I've seen, because we've been looking on other people's games, but they seem to have settled in and have gotten stronger through the day. Anyone got any calls on this? Who think the winner may be? Yeah, this is the third, that's right. Anyone want to say, anyone got an idea how this game might end? No, all right. Yeah, nor I really. I've got no clue as to where this could go. But George and I were talking, you know, and George feels that, and I was saying something similar to Barra, that, you know, that Alan Stiles' approach to play, because he admits himself he's not a point presser and he's played so many games, and this is what George was saying as well, that, you know, the way he's been playing, just running boards for so long, it really I mean, I've never watched his gameplay, but here he doesn't. It's not fussing around. He just goes up and trying to completes each board. So it seems to be serving him well, or he could just be playing really well. Either way, he is playing really well. That's Alan Storr, and Matt's been playing really solid. Johnny had a bad start, but he made. Oh, where did that come from? Poor Matt. That was the wild barrel. Alan for president.
Oh, Johnny died. Okay. It's Johnny petition. Johnny, please. Right.
Oh,
He died again. Don't you
Jeez.
want your voucher?
geez, Alan. Matt's having a bad run there on this 2 wild barrels, really knocking him around. Really imagine them settling into a long game here. Geez, Matt's had some bad luck on 2 wild barrels there. But I think he'll take it well.
I think they're just having fun.
Oh yeah, Matt's here for the fun, nothing sure. Oh, he's here to play. But I don't think he's.
Oh,
That's 3,
man.
my
Matt, you're having some bad luck, my man.
Jeez. Like I haven't seen this in the whole time been commentating such. Matt just said 1 life to kill screen.
Whoa.
Man,
They're
he's got-
attacking you.
Well, this level 3 is known as the really crazy
Yep.
barrel stage, but
Yep.
I haven't seen it this crazy since I've been commentating. This
You
is
look at him.
he's just. Oh, man.
This is the kind of third level that I wanted Andrew Barrow to get. Didn't happen.
Yeah, he's really had some bad luck. I was saying that earlier, like, you know, good luck in this game can really assist, but when it goes bad, it really goes to the bone, doesn't it?
Yeah. I'm really hoping Alan wins this.
Yeah, well, I was just saying, I think that, you know, I was talking to George Riley earlier, and, you know, all that running boards, the way he plays, and it's all new to me, you know, like I didn't know until last night that he was saying he was sitting around having pizza, and he said that he has a hard drive which has over 10,000 game starts scored on, like 10,000 games. I don't think I've played
10,000 games
of
what?
Donkey Kong.
Oh, if
They
you're playing
recorded, yeah.
Donkey Kong.
Yeah, and I don't think I've played 10,000 games of anything, you know. So there was talk, you know, that he's probably played more games of Donkey Kong than anyone else in the world that we know of, and 10,000 plus on 1 hard drive seems to suggest that's the case. So he's certainly familiar with just running boards.
Hold on 1 second. Kari Swidecki, show me pictures of your Donkey Kong. I want to see the Donkey Kong you bought. See and if you need any help tweaking it, I'll help you tweak it. Con Club, yes, being a member of the community and then seeing that movie, Ready Player One, I don't clan up, but Con Club, I'll clan up with Con Club any day of the year. Kari Swidecki, send me a picture of your Donkey Kong machine you bought. Kari Swidecki, she's good at dance games.
Oh, yeah, she was just
Yeah.
inducted into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, and she wants to start playing Donkey Kong.
Oh, good on
Because
her.
we have a female Donkey Kong competition.
Yeah, I think they've got a female Donkey Kong leaderboard on Donkey Kong Forum, don't they?
Yeah, I don't know that.
I thought they did.
I don't
for
really
some
go
reason.
on the forums much, but Kari Swidecki is one of the women that are really active in the Donkey Kong.
Well, the arcade
Playing.
community could use more women in it. It's a bit male-dominated, to say the least. Like
It is.
yeah.
It's a little too male dominated.
Yeah.
We lost. I'm sure you know, but we lost one of the greatest
Ooh,
Donkey Kong players ever recently. Kayla Rose
Yeah.
took her own life.
Yeah, very sad.
She was, I would say, confidently that she was the best female Donkey Kong player we had.
Yeah. Johnny Bond's just lost a life. Matt doing a point pressing there. I suppose he needs to with the amount of lives he's lost. Now, unfortunately, if anyone, I don't know if this is being recorded or whatever, but if anyone's seeing at home, like Matt had a really bad start, lost 3 lives to 3 really, wild barrels. They're not making excuses for him, but 2 of them just came out of nowhere up trying to get the top hammer. He just came down at a strong diagonal left. Just not, one where he was reaching for the hammer, he lost a life on.
Carrie, have you put up a score? Because to get in the American Kong off, you've got to have at least 1.1 million under your belt, verified.
Oh, really? You have to. What's the rules in the American Kong off? What was that?
To have a dedicated machine, top 12, you need I think it's at least 1.1 million.
No, but I've missed what do you need 1.1 million for?
To be in the top 12, to have a dedicated machine, meaning that's your machine, no one else can touch
Oh, I see. Oh, if you want to go to the Kong off, that
it.
is.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm talking the American Kong off.
But you could go to the Kong off if you're a really low score anyway.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
anyone can join.
Yeah, it's
and
democratic
play,
like that.
And play the wild card machines,
Yeah.
which the wild card machines are still in great condition, still play awesome. It's not like you're playing a subpar Donkey Kong.
Oh, Johnny Bond jumping 3 barrels there. Oh.
Why would you grab the hammer?
Oh, look at this, 73 plays 76,000. Look at that, we're back at square one. 1 life each. Point difference is minimal. Matt giving his own commentary there.
Why the Kong off is not inclusive is we pick the best people that can play Donkey Kong and give them a dedicated cabinet, but not all American or U.S. Kong off participants can make every event. So that opens up a lot of spots for people that are not 1.1 million players. Because again, not everyone's lives allow them to take a trip to Australia, allow them to take a trip to LA. So, of course, I think last Kong off, we were missing Vincent LeMay, who's huge personality. We were missing Hank Chen this year, who is a winner of 2 different Kong offs.
Yeah,
the word inclusive to me, I'm not really sure what that means.
Oh.
I know inclusive means, but what he means by it.
Yeah, Kong off is inclusive. I don't think anyone. What basically means anyone can turn up. You just got to qualify, turn up and play.
Yes, yes. With the wild cards, it allows anyone to play.
Yeah, so you could be you could come out of nowhere
And we have.
Yeah.
We've had wild card players in every single event, I believe, except the first one. Actually, make it to the finals.
So there's only about less than 3,000 point difference at the moment, and both on their last man.
Just like Jimmy's doing this year. Just like Jimmy did this year, he added this 3rd place bronze contest. I'm always open to changing the contest around to make people that are playing, the people in this contest, to play it, to have more of an input and be happy. So I'm always open to new ideas.
They're almost even scores now. Playing the same boards. I mean, this is such a close game.
Yeah.
They're almost doing identical things here. Both playing the star, both on the same girder. Both picking up the hammer pretty much at the same time.
Billy Gaines, don't forget Hank. Hank also wasn't there.
Hank who?
Hank Omin.
Hey, you want to get in, Ethan? Slide over. Yeah,
I just ordered some food, so I.
Oh, okay. Get you on afterwards then.
Yeah. This is interesting.
This is really close. It's great, isn't it? Well, yeah, well, did you see what happened to Matt Tecchio? Well, Matt Tecchio, just for those out there, he lost 3 lives on one board. All the wild barrels, 2 up near the top hammer and 1 down in the bottom, down near the bottom hammer. But this came out of nowhere. The bottom one, the first one he lost, the barrel was moving so fast. This is on level 3. And the other 2, one he was jumping to reach the hammer, it just came down and hit him and the barrel was under him. Just.
Jacob, is that you? Just to make sure when I see Con Club. Is that Jacob? Jacob, I look forward to hanging out with you, bro. Yes, Jacob is a class act.
We had a table at CTWC, which was selling us some of the classic Tetris World Championships in Portland 2 weeks ago. And when I went to meet him, the first thing he did was give me a giant Tetris sign for free and a patch with the Tetris logo on for free and a Donkey Kong thing for free. Wow. I'm so happy to meet you. Thank you for what you did.
Oh, wow.
Such an amazing person.
Yeah. Ethan was just singing your praises, Jacob.
So both at level 5 now to start seeing some more control in the barrels. So it could still settle down into a longish game. Hopefully so. It's certainly been exciting enough so far, this game. I'm not sure why that camera on Johnny's is losing its... Ooh! Johnny, bit of luck there going his way. Maybe Johnny's just throwing the machine around a bit more, I'm not sure. So Johnny's at 99,000 and Matt's just at 100, so they're still... Matt's a few more points in front, but nothing major. Curious to know whether they're both aware of each other's where their lives are at. I imagine they probably glanced across to have a look. Certainly would have settled Matt's nerves, knowing that Johnny lost all his lives too, and they're in the same position.
If anybody out there is listening and watching, go into YouTube and just search anything that has to do with the Kong Off 1 in New Jersey, and take a look at everybody and how young they look. Just how much has gone on since that first Kong Off in New Jersey. There's a lot of good footage out there. Some guy, I don't even know his name, put out a video. How I recognize it, I guess a death metal band is in the background. Crazy screaming and really heavy music. Ben Falls, he was part of it. Ben Falls. Please say a few words about how great Kong Off 1 was. I should say type a few words.
Hey Ben, do you want to have a chat? Sorry? Do you want to come on for a speak?
For chat?
Yeah. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Because I've been talking about who you are on camera from time to time, so it'd be good to, drifting around, so it'd be good to have you on.
Ben Falls, help me out. Help me out. How many years ago was that? What was the year? And yes, what Sis Crusher, alias Ben Falls.
Oh, yeah, sorry, Johnny Bond was about to sort of say.
Johnny Bond was about to give
Matt's
up,
out.
but
He
he
give
doesn't
up.
have the score yet,
he has
right?
to get the 5,000. Yeah,
He's 5K.
Yeah, 5K.
We had back at the Kong Off 1, we had what's that? Opie and Anthony's guys. I don't know, Dave and something show, and they were really, really rude. It was awesome. It was awesome event with a really shitty radio show. Yeah, that's it. Eastside Dave. He was freaking. He started saying on the air that Walter was a pedophile, and that's when we had to take him outside. He is a D-bag. I agree, Billy Gaines.
So Johnny Bond's just got to make up,
Oh!
My God.
He choked.
Oh, man. There we go. What a wild game. I might get those guys on if that's all right with you.
Yeah, of course. Why don't you get up and I'll get him on?
Oh, okay.
I'm just kidding.
You just bring them both over. That'd be good. Hey, Matt. Johnny, Matt. Johnny.
Come on, buddy.
I'm on it, Phil.
Yeah. I'm just worried he's going to race off to the bar.
He's going to race off and have a drink, I think.
Yeah, I'll get him here first. Yeah.
Please, dude.
Yeah, you can come up. Come on, Johnny. Guy wrestles crocodiles.
Epic.
Oh,
I thought I
mate.
won, and then I was like, fuck, let's go.
Yeah, sorry, I probably threw you off there. I'm so sorry. But that stress you were under on that last stage.
I tell you what,
That was nerve-wracking.
that game, I think that's strangely the most unfairest and fairest game in the whole tournament so far. Like
Like we talked about earlier, with rules and what you can do and not.
Yeah.
If you walk away from the machine, you won, you know.
yeah, you could,
Yeah, we
yeah,
wanted to know what happened if we got the same
But
score.
I was just like,
yeah.
oh man.
Like from the start, like just to give you both a rundown, like Matt had lost 3 lives on a barrel board. One was this wild barrel that came right across the screen to the right. It was moving so fast.
Oh, mate, it just went all
It's
the
like
way
a bullet.
over.
And Ken House has talked about that. These sort of targets, I think he calls them laser barrels.
Only
laser
happens
barrels.
in the early boards.
Yeah, and Ken refers to and then you lost 2 up on the top hammer. One when you jumped over a barrel to get the hammer and got you. And then
Nerves,
I did the same.
yeah, and then like so you saw Lauren saying it's the most
I thought you
unfairest
had it.
game, but you
Yeah.
both had the same.
Yeah,
amount
you
of
made me
unfair
think I
luck.
had it.
Yeah, like I had no lives, and I'm in the first couple of stages, and I thought you had it,
Yeah.
and then I kept hearing you swear, and I thought, yeah, this is it. I'm just gonna keep going.
Yeah.
And when I lost, I looked over, and you only had to finish that board to win.
No, it could have been barrel board, pie, no whatever. But
You
the
spring.
fucking springboard, I just knew it. I just fucking knew
Yeah,
it.
I watched you come up to have to get that first elevator, and I thought once he's onto the girdle, he'll be fine.
Yeah.
I thought because that's where you
Yeah,
lost
yeah.
last time. He's on, I think, oh, he feels good.
I
And then
thought
that-
if I
You're
took
at the
the
top,
both
yeah.
prize, I'm set. But I didn't hear any cheering. When I got the second prize, I'm like, fuck, I have to finish this level. And then-
So what was it? A long sprint? Was it what happened there?
I don't know. I don't even know.
I don't know if
Nerves,
but
yeah.
man, well, that's the shortest game.
That is the shortest Kong-off game ever.
I think I'll let
I
you go.
have no shame. I won.
I think I'll let you go get a beer, Johnny.
I can see my family's back here
Johnny,
too.
I'm gonna buy you a beer. What do you want?
Anything, just a beer,
Hey.
please.
How about a
There's a gentleman
giant
here.
Scotch, giant Bundaberg rum? What do you
There's a gentleman here whose name I can't remember.
I'm not gonna get you a beer. You have a final to do.
No, hang on, am I done? No, that's it.
I mean, if you'd like a beer, that's fine.
No, that's good.
You need a pint.
I used the lucky
anything
coin.
of it.
Someone gave me their lucky
more
coin. I
percentages,
just
the
want to
better.
say, whoever that was, I forget your name. That lucky coin got me that game.
No, it's good.
Yeah. I was getting some change to put
remember what it was?
if I saw him, I
It's hard to
know.
know it was lucky. That must be the unluckiest game, the way it played out.
That was a shit game, man. Thank you for playing a shit game.
Oh man, what an honor, man. That was good fun. Fuck, I enjoyed that.
That was fun.
Someone's gonna haunt me. I
How many
already
drinks did you
fought
have today?
probably 12 beers so far. I'd had
Alright.
2 before I even went here.
I had like
That's
3.
8 o'clock.
So the secret to success, kids, is do not drink.
More than 3 beers.
Yeah.
Mate.
It's been a pleasure.
And I thought I was knocked out when me and Alan played because I was the first one out and he was still playing. So I thought, oh, you already have 3rd place. I'm already out. And then I got told, oh, you had a 3rd place match.
I'm happy with anything, man.
Man, I was so glad it was over. And then this, what a roller coaster. Fuck,
Yeah, it
unreal.
I thought, honestly, when Matt, you were down to 1 life, I thought, this is just the game against the clock.
Yeah.
And then I thought, oh, well, he's settling in maybe. And I thought, and then when you came down to 1 man, I thought, well, we're back at square one.
Fuck, when you walked away and I thought I won. Then, oh, get back to the game. And I fought 2 prizes. That would make me on top. But then the second prize, there was no one cheering on me. I'm like, fuck, I gotta
Hang
complete
on,
the
yeah.
fucking stage before I win. I fucking choked. That was
The
awesome.
game's
I gotta have a
incredible.
look at the
Watch it
replay.
back.
Yeah.
Watch where I distract you and don't hold it against me, man. I thought you had it. I didn't even know your score when I went over there and congratulated you. So
And this is all on Twitch, isn't it? So you will be able
Yeah.
to watch it again. Yeah, so I think that's the most. I'm not, like, that was the most exciting short
that was
game of
so
the event
cool.
so far. That was pretty wild.
First place was so intense, man.
I think wild is the term there. Like, because if someone wants to see how random Donkey Kong can actually be,
this guy
this
is a
textbook
fantastic
random
player.
game.
He deserves a lot better than that.
Well, I think you both. But he,
And you've been the wild card all week, and you just pull it off one game after another. Like you must be so pumped
Oh,
after
mate,
beating
I
Ethan.
am just ecstatic. This event has been an achievement. And I love it, and I love everyone here.
Would have been the same without you. We just met you just Friday, I think. Maybe today, to be honest.
you were the wild.
Maybe I can buy you a drink, eh? 13, 14.
You stop counting after the number 8.
So who we got for number 1? Alan? No. Oh, hang on. Yeah. We got Alan and we got who? Estelle, because he beat me.
So, and of course, that decided first and second. So we've got a third place winner. So,
That'll be pretty good.
worst case scenario, either of these next guys will be second.
I thought you were playing again, but you're not playing again.
no,
You're
no,
done. What would you like to drink?
No, I'm all good, man. Thank you.
Sure?
Yeah. I think after that game, you could tell I've had enough. And,
No way, you're playing fine. It was just
that game was possessed.
that was pretty well.
I'm sorry, man.
What a fucking
You're
blast.
too good.
Nah, that was awesome. I fucking loved it. What a roller coaster.
Wonderful time.
I wish we could have put on a better game for the people at home.
Oh, I think for everyone here watching it was an exciting match.
So Matt, you've only been playing for 6 months.
Yeah,
Bloody hell, dude.
it's a great game. It's fun.
Have you done anything else for the last 6 months?
Yeah, I was doing uni and I was doing work and I come home, play a couple of games of Donkey Kong, and
Spare time.
I heard this event was on through the
So no
Aussie
Red
Arcade.
Dead Redemption 2, just Donkey Kong.
Look, I installed it,
Okay,
but
that
there's
was
some
2
Donkey
days.
Kong.
Yeah, good.
Did you uninstall it or did you install it?
I installed it.
Alright.
And then I said, fuck this, excuse me, I'm playing Donkey Kong because Donkey Kong's a better game. In 35 years from now, or whatever the hell it is, people will still be playing Donkey Kong, nobody will be playing Red Dead 2.
Well, I haven't played bloody snow level.
I'll put money on that. Anyway, she should get me off the mic because I'm talking shit.
Yeah, I'll let you
Oh,
guys
what
get
a
off.
fucking blast, seriously. man.
That
That
was
was
great.
unreal.
Your family,
Thank
and
you
I'll see
again. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, you'll be around till the end.
I
of it.
will be.
Yeah,
I will
I might
be.
be back.
I've got to go find my wallet.
Thank you.
Soon.
If you do want to drink, let us know.
Thank you very much.
I think Ben Nichols is going to have to sit down. Ben, what a game! Yeah, cheers. You've broken up your own PB yesterday.
I did.
Yeah, level
I have
6.
a modest score, but I got it to level 6 for the first time this week. I've spent literally a year stuck on level 5, but I've been spreading my efforts amongst, games of every variety, of every kind, of every game in this venue.
So how does this? I was going to ask, how's this differing from last year's event? Just obviously more numbers have come in, greater range of players.
I think, last year was untested. I think last year was a little bit of a sort of question mark, and sort of like I can't express so much how sort of like, we've got a lot of things that go on here, but this particular event's not really been my thing. It's very much been Jimmy's thing, and he's really driven this. He's worked incredibly hard to make it all happen. He really pushed for last year to happen, and he did a really good job. And this year we've really stepped it up by a significant amount, especially because of like Dave and Adam, who have been involved in doing all the tech stuff. Like they've been busting their asses to get the extra cabs going on.
Oh yeah, I think that's. I'll just quickly. Ben next to me, Ben Nichols. He's the co-owner and founder of Netherworld. I've already mentioned that a few times, but yeah, like the behind-the-scenes stuff. Like you got 2 technicians here building the cabs.
They've done an amazing job.
Yeah,
and so like they've been busting their asses for it, and everything was really good. And I think like the important thing for the crew is that wanting the event to be world class. On the level of like making sure that we don't do anything by halves at Netherworld, and I think we don't want this to be something that we do by halves either. So we've been putting our absolute all into it, and I think we have. It's good.
Well, talking to people, particularly the players have loved it. They loved it last year. There's certainly another, the atmosphere, away from the cabinets and outside of the Netherworld is just as positive. Everyone's hanging out, talking, having drinks, having a laugh. Like it's very and very support for each player. Like I don't think anyone would begrudge someone beating them. Like it really is like, well, everyone's playing to win, but of course if they lose, they realise that they're not going to deny the opportunity for someone else to win against them. I can't imagine anyone here storming out in a huff.
No, absolutely. Everyone here is so friendly and so positive about the whole situation. And like, look, I'm not a big competitive gamer. It's not competitive gaming isn't hugely in my interest, but Donkey Kong's been something that, at least for the last couple of years, has been something that's been this like consistent running thing where it's become a point of fascination. I love what it represents. I love what the game is. I love that. It's not a game that you can accidentally have a good game on. It's not possible.
No.
Like you've got to train at the game. You've got to get better. And we had a situation where before we even opened Netherworld, we had a Donkey Kong cabinet at my other bar, which is the Scratch Bar over in Milton. and that was the first experience I've really ever had playing Donkey Kong. I started playing that, and you know, the first week that I had that game, it was unreal to get 5,000. And then the second week that I had it, it was unreal to get 10,000. And then 3 weeks after that, it was unreal to get 20,000. And just seeing this, like, over time, just slow, gradual progression of that, it's a little bit embarrassing that I've been stuck on level 5 for a year now. But I haven't been playing it that often. I play a lot of different, like, a lot of games. Like, I cannot stress enough how many different kinds of games that I play. But, I was really stoked to at least get past that sort of like goal point yesterday. But watching these players go is unreal. Like
watching these players go. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Just watching them play. Like watching Estelle just before, and watching just how effortless he is at just getting through those levels. About how well he's able to command those barrels, and when you get those wild barrels down, he doesn't even flinch. He's just like, yep, cool. To the right of that, boom, boom. Get a couple of extra points by jumping next to it. That's some unreal playmanship.
Oh, it's like I always say, it's genuinely a finesse game, and like you're saying with you know, arcade games in general, you don't accidentally get on and get a high. Like you know, you don't accidentally break a world record. It's not, you know, it's a genuine skill involved. And I thought I'd just also point out, Netherworld is for those who aren't, especially in the US who aren't as familiar with it. It's a venue that, you know, also has. I mean, it's a genuine barcade, and it has a restaurant attached. But outside of the arcade games, it also has pinballs, which is really Jimmy's. That's where his roots lie, in pinball.
Jimmy's roots are definitely in pinball.
But also, through the day, has a huge library of board games. Everything from chess to, you know, Carcassonne, and you know, I've looked through them. Like there's heaps there, and they also regularly run an RPG night, like Dungeons and Dragons, once a month. Isn't that right?
Yeah. So like.
And that's more your thing, isn't it?
Well, I mean, like my background is like I would call it a very broad spectrum of gaming. I play pinball, I play video games, I play board games, RPGs. It's a very broad thing across the board, and I do like that we've got some things at the bar that do cover pretty much all of those spectrums. We've got about 130 games at the bar in terms of board games, along with the arcades and the pinball. And we do those Dungeons and Dragons nights once or twice a month. And it blows us away how popular they are, because we put those tickets up online and they sell out within an hour. We get 70 people within an hour just jumping in for those Dungeons and Dragons things. And I think that's a thing that's very much a now thing. D&D has found this audience and found this popularity, which is a little bit strange, because I don't think anyone really anticipated that. But
no, like I think when I was a kid playing it, you know, in '86, I bought the red box, the Mensa red box set, and I bought the rules and had to sit there and read through it myself. I didn't know anyone who played, and you know, I was running those games back then, and of course that was around the same time as the Satanic, the Satanic Panic. Remember the
80s Satanic Panic.
Yeah. So that sort of
warms the cockles of my heart.
And then it became it sort of disappeared and became this kind of, it was very niche then, and sort of seen as a very geeky thing and all that sort of stuff. You know,
it's kind of sweet that there was a Satanic Panic about Dungeons and Dragons. It's such an innocent, light thing, and people were worried that was the pathway to the devil.
Yeah, well, those who track it, anyone out there playing, but remember the deities and demigods, they removed the Call of Cthulhu bit because they saw it as some way of summoning demons and stuff. So anyone's got one of those.
I personally feel like pinball is currently the pathway to the devil, and you know, Jimmy, you really got to, like, mate, you're setting a lot of people up on the path directly to hell at the moment. I hope so.
But I think you're right. Like, I think there's like things like Stranger Things, of course.
It's really fun stuff.
And Big Bang Theory. We see D&D and that. And I think, and now we were talking about yesterday, the amount of girls have turned to it is enormous.
It's pretty mainstream, and it's a pretty diverse thing as well. You get people of all walks of life, and lots of women who really love it. Our D&D nights are pretty much 50% male and female, which is fantastic. But not something that you'd expect out of sort of nerd circles.
Well, think of cosplay. You know,
yeah.
Like, I mean, this
is really popular amongst a very diverse amount of people.
Yeah. You know, and age groups as well.
Yeah.
You know, so I think this sort of, and particularly like I'm up from Melbourne, of course, which is, you know, I think it has more game cafes than any city in the world or something. Like its ratio is enormous. Yeah, it's huge. Like it is like board games and stuff, but it has nothing like Netherworld. It has Pixel Alley and Bartronica, but it hasn't really tapped into the broader game community there like it is. I know they do. Like
I really love the gaming venues down there. I think they're a lot of fun. I recently went up to there's a night. God, what's the pub called? There's a night out at a pub in the Burbs, and they do a night called Beta Bar, and it's a Friday night, and it's all sort of like it's gaming, nerd trivia. and they do lots of consoles everywhere, and so for a lot of sort of like the sort of geek community around there, and that was a lot of fun. I recently went down for the Penny Arcade Expo, and Jesus, bloody hell, it's the busiest thing in the universe. There's such a huge community for sort of gaming across a very broad spectrum. And like pulling it back into like the Donkey Kong thing, like this is a really fun event, and I think it'd be really good from our end. And I think one of the things that we'd really like to do is, you know, we get like a core group of sort of like 30, 40, 50 people that come and be a part of this, but I'd love to sort of reach a few more people and get the more casual people that don't really know their way around Donkey Kong to come in, get involved with these people, learn how to play the game, get in there, just be like, all right, cool, what's my goal today? I'm just going to get to the second level, because beating the first level of Donkey Kong is a challenge. Just I would love to see a little bit more of sort of like a casual audience come part of this. But as it exists, the crew that we've got here today is such a lovely, really warm and welcoming and accepting group. Like, it's a good event.
It's been a great event. It's a great event, and there are spectators here. Like, I don't know if people can notice the background, but people are just sitting here watching, you know, roll by while they're having a beer or a drink and stuff. No, it's been really. I mean, this is my first time to an OzCon off, and I went to the first Kong off in the US, and of course it's changed a lot in its history since then. You know, it's going back to 2011. But yeah, I don't see this. I mean, I imagine so. Like, in my knowledge of Netherworld, it seems to be just going from strength to strength, and I imagine this is coming around again next year for sure. You know, like
it's good. Like you know, Kim and I have got our own little sort of way of sort of like tackling these events and doing little bits and pieces. But I think we're very much on the same page of when we do the next one, we'll do a little bit bigger and a little bit better every single time.
Yeah, and there's a lot of gamers out there that I know who'd love to come to Australia, and we talked about that earlier. And even though they're not Donkey Kong players, I was saying, you know, World Record Mondays, it's casually referred to now after the Kong off. I was saying, I'm sure you guys would be more than happy to accommodate them with a game if it's available. They'll get it on the board or get it on the floor. And so those out there who may not be Donkey Kong players, and you're looking to, you know, I know quite a few of them who really would love to come to Australia and looking for a reason to come.
At the end of the day, you know, the reason we do this bar, the reason we do this thing is at the end of the day, it's that concept of community. It's the idea of getting people involved, getting people to share love for the things that we love as well. And, you know, we get a weekend where a bunch of people come in and they celebrate something that we love or that they love. That's us in paradise. That's the best.
Oh, well, you can see it. You can even the staff. Like, there's just I can't imagine too many. I mean, of course, it's work, and they come in and work away. But there is a sort of a relaxed feeling here. I can't imagine too many people are, you know, grinding through the day. You know, maybe the cook out the back. That's always. I've worked in kitchens. That's pretty hard. Like, but you know, what I mean, it does have a
great.
sort of
like our staff work really hard because it's a busy venue, and that's great. You know, we're really
they earn their money. You know.
But the majority of the staff have all been here since day dot. You know,
As I'm saying, I can't imagine
it's been 2
people
years now.
leave.
We don't get a lot of staff turnover, and we love it. It's a big family. It's all people that mean a lot to us and that are really close to us, and we want to make sure that they continue to be family. You know, even when people leave, we don't let them go very far. Because, like,
drag them back in.
Yeah.
But on those casual gamers, and you guys have had master classes here. You've had people give, you know, classes on, you know, for people, because there are other arcades in Brisbane. There's one up, which isn't too far away. What's the other one?
Pincadia.
Pincadia.
They're currently sort of they've had a little bit of sort of downtime because they unfortunately had a fire recently, but they're open very, very, very soon again, and they're lovely, great people, and we really wish them the best for their reopening.
And isn't there one more? Or have I got that wrong? I thought there was one other arcade. Or was there talk of another one? Or maybe that's my imagination.
Not in terms of sort of like the classic arcade games.
Oh, okay.
No, it's pretty much just one up arcade. Who's Stephen, who runs that. He's killing it. He's got an amazing and large lineup of classic arcade games. Pincadia are a really lovely venue, and wherever he is, Pinhouse across the road. So they're like a little pinball place.
Oh, maybe that's what I was thinking.
Yeah. So they don't have a bar or a kitchen, but they also run like a beef jerky company. So it's sort of like it's this like fun little mix of beef jerky and pinball into one place. But it's a great little. The quality of his machines are just.
Well, there's a big pinball community up here, isn't it?
Huge, yeah. So we've got the Brisbane Masters, which is something that Jimmy's been working really hard on with Lambo. Lambo is one of our great pinball players and organisers who's up here. They've been organising the Brisbane Pinball Masters for the last couple of years. It's probably one of the biggest celebrations of pinball in Australia. And they've just announced and they've just secured that the next Pinball Masters is actually going to be at the Ekka in Brisbane, which is huge.
That's huge.
That is huge.
So what does the turnout do you reckon they're going to get for that?
So the first year, I think they're shooting for somewhat moderate goals. So probably talking 400 people. But if it goes well, if it's good, they'll look to that being an important part of the ECA in future years. The way, as a venue, as us being involved in this particular thing, it's something that we'd seriously consider putting other really important arcade and pinball events almost as part of this as well, if it happens properly, because the ECA is probably one of the biggest things that happens in Brisbane every single year, and to have, you know, pinball and arcade, prominent pinball and arcade events happen during that time, we personally feel like that could be a really, really important and amazing thing to happen over the following years. But we'll see how that goes. It'll be the first time that we do it this year, and we'll absolutely throw our absolute all behind it, especially Jimmy. And we'll see how it goes.
Ben, just quickly, Jim, we had a question, Jimmy. When's the finals going to start, roughly? 1 minute. Guys, I saw the question up there. How long to the finals?
Right, I better get off and take some photos then.
Yeah. Ben's been documenting all this, and you've been doing some footage as well, like not just photographs, but a little bit of film footage.
Unfortunately, I've sort of tried to interview people this weekend, but it hasn't really happened. So I might hold that up
after the event. I think you could. We'll
hold that off for next time. Probably some nice footage this weekend. So
Yeah, no.
All right, thank you, Phil.
Great event. Cheers, buddy. All right, we're getting ready for the finals. Hi. All right, here we are heading to the finals.
How's everybody going, eh? Everybody bloody good?
Wow.
What? Ben? What? What were you gonna say?
Good job here, Kai.
Hey.
I'm trying.
Kai. This is
I'm
Kai.
trying.
Kai's style.
That's
This is.
funny.
We'll wait till
Yes, we must save that.
We'll come on as soon as Richie's finished his intro.
Okay, we're down to the final two. Does anyone in here, let's take it down for a moment. Does anyone in here not know the name Alan Stahl? Raise your hand. Put your hand down. Everybody in here knows the name Alan Stahl. Alan Stahl.
Brian Allen style.
I don't even know how to recover. Okay, well, Alan Stahl's right next to me right here. I want you to say a few words about what this community means to you.
Love. The community means lots to me. Love in general. All grouped together as one, and it's just been fantastic. This Donkey Kong event, and all the people who've done it as well. Love it.
How long? We love you. How long have we known each other now? How long have we known each other?
Over 15 years.
15 years, and we're on opposite sides of the earth, and we've been friends for over 15 years because of one game, and that game is Donkey Kong. Believe it or not. So what game is yours? Which one are you choosing? Of course. Where is your competitor? There he is. You're not out smoking. All right. So everybody, Estelle, where are you from, Estelle?
Alabama, USA.
From Alabama. So you've been around for quite a while, right? Yeah, you've been a while. So when did you first join the Donkey Kong community, sir?
I'd say around 2010.
2010. I remember. And how long have you been playing Donkey Kong, sir?
Last 8 years.
The last 8 years. So in the Netherworld, Kong Off 2, we have went from, who was last year? Shane? Shane, and who did you play against last year, Shane? Is Graham here? Too bad Graham couldn't make it again. But you never know with this new bracket tournament that we instituted probably at like Kong 04. You never know who's going to be in the end. But I think this is a perfect just example of how great this event can get. Guys like Estelle, guys like Alan Stahl, head to head for the final contest. Are you guys ready for the final contest? Now hold on, I didn't hear you. Did I say, are you ready for the next contest? Are you ready? You bloody cunts, get on your machine!
1 second, photo for together. 1 second. One more, hold on.
It's on! It is on! Like Pong! You guys all thought I was going to say Donkey Kong. Wait, what's going on here? They're going on separate sides? Is that okay? Jimmy, where's Jimmy?
No, we got them both on screens here.
Oh, okay. That's okay? Okay, Phil, what do you think?
Looks good.
All right, hey, everybody, I forgot to give a round of applause for somebody. My friend Phil. He's been here doing all the commentary. Let's everybody give a round of applause for Phil.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, everyone. It's been a real pleasure. Absolute pleasure.
He's been here just working his ass off, getting everybody that could not be here today to be part of it, to make everybody feel like you're home. Everybody at home who's watching, we thank you for coming on, and we are going to start the contest. Are you ready? Put your dollars in. Inflation. Put your dollars in. Come on, capitalism. On 3, everybody in the place. Please help me. Are you ready? 3, 2, 1. Let's go! All right, count off 2. We love you.
Yeah, thanks, guys. It's been an absolute pleasure doing the
May
commentary.
the best donkey or win.
Had a wonderful introduction from Richie again. Got Kai Stahl here next to us, and of course Ethan Daniels. And first up, who are you going for, Kai?
I mean, do I really have a choice in this one?
Yeah, you don't have a choice.
Gotta go with my dad for this one.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, so it'd be great to have. We haven't had you on the bench yet, so I was putting that off, hoping that to sit here with your dad, but to be here in the finals while your dad plays, I might have to keep you here for the whole match. I think it'd be unfair to walk out.
I'm down for that. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe you can give us some insight into stall logic.
Oh, sure. I'm trying my best,
Well, I'm no.
Like, no, I can't relate to that. Sorry.
Well, I'm no DK connoisseur, but Styles. I mean, Alan's been playing like a legend, hasn't he? Like he's been playing. I mean, I don't know what his normal game's like, but
consistent, calm today. This is a bit different from his streams, but
very different
it's
from
working
his
for him
streams.
today. So
He's very good. In a public arena, he's different than at home.
You might have to speak up just a little bit.
He can focus a lot more in a public arena than he can at home.
Yeah.
it seems like everyone's been having their like ups and downs today, whereas my dad's been sort of consistent, just like going on, nothing really too bad that's happened in terms of death and stuff. So yeah, it's been pretty good.
Yeah, I didn't even see that first board. It just seemed to disappear.
He runs right through it. Skips the hammer, just takes the bonus points and calls it a day.
Nice and easy. Just
it looks
go
like
for
Estelle did the
distance.
same thing,
Yeah.
based on the score.
Both playing for distance here.
Do you feel a bit more nervous with watching your dad here in the finals?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like, I've always seen him playing at home, and I, kind of used to it now. It's just gone out, but it's finally like realizing, wow, it's the finals and he's finally here. So a bit nervous for him, but yeah, if he plays like he has been today, I reckon he's got a good shot. But yeah, both two good players up here. So
if he keeps playing like he has been.
Yeah, I reckon big score will happen in this game, from both players. So
I've got a feeling.
Think you'll ever hear the end of it?
I would never hear the end of this, win or lose. Last year, I kid you not, it probably took him about 3 weeks to get over him talking about, if I didn't do this, I didn't die here. And, I should have won. He said that at least 200 times.
What's the zone of if you're at home and your dad's playing Donkey Kong?
Yep.
How far can you detect it? Like, I mean, if you're in the same room, you can tell the kitchen, the letterbox,
maybe
like
the
the next door.
suburb.
Like, no, seriously, like how far? Like when he's yelling and screaming, at what point do you know he's still playing?
One time, a friend of mine was dropping me home, and I kid you not, when I just opened the door and I could hear him scream when I was in my driveway. So I mean, the neighbors must have a really good time, but no. Yeah, he does get pretty loud at times, but it's good fun. Provides some good YouTube content. Passion.
He's passionate.
He's a passionate guy.
Yeah.
An elite member of the online gaming community.
Yeah, it's been there from the start, really.
Team Estelle. Oh, sorry, I'm not
Oh,
sorry.
yeah.
It could
Oh,
be,
yeah,
It could be Ethan, or he could be talking about. I don't know if they're responding to us, but anyway, all three. Like
yeah, definitely.
Estelle, Ethan, and
really brought up the community.
Yeah, certainly.
So
Certainly, Alan's
great.
got a big community behind him. He's a certainly a crowd favourite, entertaining player to watch. And he's, he's still chasing that elusive 1 million points.
Yeah, I know. Still going for it.
Oh. You want a drink?
Water would be good.
I'm fine, mate. Thank you. Yes, I think we might be settling into a fairly long game, hopefully.
Yeah,
I'd love to see a big long game dragging out.
I'd like to see that too. Well, I mean, the last game that Estelle played, they both were at 450 or so. It was halfway. That's the halfway point, and Alan's definitely able to go that far, no problem. So.
And how about that? Not too much to talk about at this point of the game, but how about that last match? With Johnny and Matt.
So diverse. Diverse isn't the right word, but it was such a
crazy
divergence from all the other games. Man. It was everything had been fairly level spaced, and one death here, one death there. They were both on their last man for 100,000 points.
And then the ending,
that's where all the pressure comes in. Once you hit your last man, I mean, you can psych yourself in. I got 3 men left. I got 2 men left. I got 1 extra man still. I'm okay. Once you get to your last man, it changes everything. Yeah, dude, it changes everything.
And actually, the last game, it was 2 things. One, it pointed out the absolute randomness of those wild barrels on level 3. But the other thing was we were talking about earlier, Kai, Ethan and I, about the confusion that can happen without that clear knowledge of when you won. Like we saw Johnny get up thinking he'd won, and he hadn't, because he didn't know the score, and he had to sit back down. So the emotions went up
out of
and
his
then down.
element, and then he had to sit back down and finish the spring.
And
it turned what should be a pretty much 90 or 95% completion rate screen into a, oh man, if I don't make this, I lose.
Yeah, and I think, and he came up and said, what you were talking about earlier, Phil, we really do need that for things like this, because he was thinking, because Matt wasn't sure, and he turned, everyone was cheering, thinking, oh, well, congratulations. Then it was only afterwards, people go, no, you haven't won yet.
He was actually just about to tap him on the back, and I was like,
no,
he doesn't have the score yet. Don't touch him.
But then, you can't knock Matt for being courteous, because there aren't any rules for this. I think we need.
And he just assumed that he had lost right away. He didn't even check the score first.
And you can see why. Like the players, they're not taking track of everyone's game. They're focused on their own. So
no, I actually had no idea. In my matches, I had no idea where my competitor was at. Unless, if we had been up on screen, it would have been easier. But to actually go out of your way to look, it's taking yourself out of the element.
And I think, again, a shout out to the community there. I really think that these things need to be established. It's not a big set of rules, just genuine, just basic kind of outline saying when you enter a match, shake hand, all that sort of stuff. But when you finish, don't get in. Until there's a clear kind of referee or umpire say this match is now complete. So and I think. I'm not making excuses for anyone. Like those wild barrels are not saying that there's no should have won. It could have, yes, but should have. Those things are dicey. But I can imagine his emotions.
That's the beauty of this game and the bracket. There is no should have.
But his emotions must have soared up when he actually thought he had won. No, I've got one over here. He must have thought he had won, and then have to sit back down and go, oh, I've still got to work through these. What was it? Less than 2,000 points.
Anyway. It was 5K that he needed.
Oh, 5K was it?
And it wasn't even like, again, had he had the knowledge, he could have maybe gone over to the side and just leached springs, but I don't think he could have even gotten 5,000 bonus leeching springs because it was level 5 plus. If he only needed 2K, he could have gone over there, jump, grab the prize, jump, never even finish. Jump it out to 0 and then win, but couldn't even do that. He had to go through. Oh, Alan lost a man.
Ooh, we missed that.
We did miss that. Wild barrel to the face.
Yeah. This again, it was pretty wild. Well, Alan will be glad to get through this.
So what do you think, Kyle? Will you beat your dad's score someday?
I've always been sort of on and off with Donkey Kong. I started off pretty into it, but to be honest, this tournament's kind of ignited that flame in mine for the game. So I'm planning on going home now, then finish with school, practice a bit more, come back next year, and hopefully be a bit more competitive.
Really?
So that's the plan, and I just think I need a bit more time in the game. So
everybody
having some skills and see how it goes. But
I would say that it's probably pretty apparent to most people, but you guys have different playing styles.
Oh yeah, definitely. Right? I mean, I've kind of adopted more of a simple place. I used to be really into point pressing myself, and everyone on my dad's stream would know that they hated me for it because I'd barely get past the second screen. But this tournament, you can't really point press, so I've tried to be a bit more minimalistic and just run the boards and go for distance, which I think is a lot safer, and
that's the beauty of
a lot more of the
bracket
too.
It's more of a distance race than a score race.
Whereas if you're at home, unlimited restarts, no pressure. It's all at the comfort of your own home.
All right, Al. Let's see.
Looks like he's settled back in now, which is good.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, all three of us missed that wild
Yeah,
barrel.
no.
The spectators
Yeah,
saw
it's
it.
strange. Usually you have a reaction from him, but
It was a
nothing
wild
today.
barrel to the face. Sorry.
Yeah.
No, man, he's cool as a cucumber.
Yeah,
if he knows if he reacts, it's just gonna tilt.
It's
He'll
gonna
tilt.
tilt him, yeah. So it's good he's realizing that.
Which tells you a lot about one of his potential shortcomings.
Yeah,
If he can stay cool like this and put up scores like this all the time in tournaments, then if he could stay cool at home, then he probably would have a much better
Definitely.
chance. Same with me, you know, like when I sit, I'm always doing dumb stuff at home, and then in the tournament, you zone in.
This is the longest wait for a long spring I've seen. There it is. Nicely
Right,
done, Alan.
There we go.
Very good, Al. Very good.
Yeah, I got a bit of thanks there for the commentary, but also thanks to everyone else coming out, particularly you, Ethan. You've given a real great insight to the game through today and yesterday.
You're doing all the work, sir.
Oh yeah, but still, having players like yourself on here who have a much greater and in-depth knowledge than I'll ever have. But yeah, it's been real pleasure to do it, but also have people like yourself come on and offer your time. It's been
Thank you
really
very
good.
much.
You too, Brian. I know you just stepped on.
No worries, yeah. Always interested.
Look at this stall hammer. 5 smash, stall hammer. Oh, 6 smash, stall hammer.
Hey, massive.
Oh, man. So good.
Good question, Mark.
Now we'll talk.
Kind of close.
And not in any competitive sense, Ethan. This is just a curious question. How do you find this compares to? I mean, sort of boring to say, but not really. Like the Kong off here in Australia to the US. I know that like just because of the different level of players, like there's a lot more like higher score pointers there and things like that.
I would say that the overall tournament vibe's very similar because of the day of high score and then the day of the bracket.
Yeah.
But I would say that what I would call like a score compression seems to be tighter here.
Oh, really?
Than
Here?
over in America. Yeah, in America, you have guys that are literally able to just do 1.1 at will, as well as the guys that are 400 and 500K players. So at the end of the day, when you look at the scoreboard, the spread's more like 800 up.
Oh yeah.
Whereas here,
Well, that
there's a
makes
lot
sense,
of
yeah.
mid-ground players, and I think it makes it a lot more exciting.
Oh, so no, I thought you were saying the point compression here was high, but like yeah.
Well, it is. There's a higher point compression in the sense that like you end up with bands of areas where there's like I have to look again, but there was like 5 300K scores.
Oh yeah.
Right? And what that means, not just that you only need to make a little bit of improvement to jump a lot, but what that means is that those matches that those people are going to play are all really levelly based people that aren't necessarily like 99.9 percentile. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
It's
I get
not
you
like
now,
a shoo-in that this guy's going to win or that guy's going to win. So I think it's almost more entertaining because there's more variance. Like the standard deviation of the expected outcome is much greater here, which makes it far more entertaining, in my opinion.
I see what you're doing, yeah.
And the environment's amazing too. Like the last few American ones are in big gaming expos, and they're nice, but it doesn't have the intimacy here. Like 10,000 people a day go to that venue, and 9,000 of them walk by you and look at you like, who are these people? And they keep walking. Where here, it's like half the people are here to see this. You know everybody. You know the staff. This is really great.
Yeah, I mean, I might just swing that around, like just quickly. You can see if I can get the crowd there watching, right to the back. And that isn't, like there are people just sitting there.
Yeah, faces I don't recognize that are just standing there to watch.
They're just people coming to watch.
It's wonderful.
And there's people who come in and stand for a while, go off and come back. But the people who've managed to find a seat, they've been sitting there the whole day now. They've just found a spot and walking out to get beers or drinks or food or whatever.
It's great, and I really don't want you guys to like take this the wrong way, but a big part of the American Kong off is Billy and Steve.
Oh yeah.
For the average spectator, they don't know anything about the Donkey Kong community, but they know Billy and Steve from the movie. So I'd say 40% of the people that actually care to watch the Kong off are literally just there to see Billy and Steve.
Oh,
Which there's nothing wrong with that. You can't fault those people for that. But on the other hand, that's not here. So it's more of a focus on the players. And I know those guys are players, but you know what I'm saying. They're 2 out of 20, whereas here you don't have that. I think it's great.
I mean, it's like going to the Louvre just to see the Mona Lisa. Like you're going to plow through Roman mosaics and paintings by Uccello and
Exactly.
all sorts of fantastic things.
Exactly.
But this is the
and
trophy
if the MoMA
hunt,
wasn't
you know.
there, you would be able to appreciate all those other things more. And I feel like that's definitely the case here.
Yeah. Well, you go to Musée d'Orsay, and I mean, this is an Inchtermine art, and you get crowds, but not like the Louvre, because they're just there to see, a
Right.
couple of things like, some Greek, like a few Greek statues that are quite well known, and a couple of Italian races, but largely
Armless
the
naked
Louvre.
statues.
Yeah, largely at the Louvre is the main list. I think that's true. I mean, I've been to events with Billy, and it's just a different. They go, oh, that's Billy Mitchell, because he has a celebrity status amongst the retro gaming community.
Right. Exactly. It's more of like a show. The event itself isn't a show, but the fact that they're there, that's an aspect that becomes a show. And again, I don't want people to think that I think it's bad, but it does detract away from the players.
And also creates a certain confusion. Like people have this because they're not tracking the scores, they're not tracking the players, and people go, oh, you can do this, on Team Weeby, and that's all good that he's got his fans. But Steve knows, like the score's well out of his range. Like if he turned his attention to it again, maybe, but he's not going to accidentally come on and win. With the talent that's out there now.
No.
And I'm not running him down. That's just
It's
just how it is.
That's great. Alright, so Estel's already on level 5. Your dad's slow playing it. This looks like it could be fairly suspect. And by fairly suspect, I mean he's probably screwed. Now he's pretty much definitely screwed. This is exactly how I died earlier.
Oh. Gee. Unlucky death there. Yeah. Reminds me of yours.
That's exactly. I had two of the back-to-back top left corner fireballs in that game.
Gee.
And you're still at the mercy of the game, but this is now where it starts to test your mental fortitude, because you start thinking about the fact that I'm at a disadvantage. Oh, Estel died as well. He's on his second man. And this is where it really starts to test your mettle, because you're not just thinking about playing the game, you're thinking about the fact that you've been screwed, that you're down a man relative to your partner, you can only afford one more mistake or one more screwing.
That's it.
And I also think that I'm only guessing at this, but this wouldn't be necessarily how a DK player, well, the majority would prepare practice at home. Like these guys have been playing since 10 this morning.
Yeah.
So we're at the end of the day, like the end of the rounds, and they're still playing Donkey Kong.
And now some things, the more time you put into it in a day, the better you get at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But that's usually during a learning curve, not during, this is more of a performance than it is learning. You know what I mean? They're trying to replicate a specific set of skills, not improve themselves. And the more time you spend practicing, the better you get over the course of a long session. But in this case, the fatigue's there.
Just interesting to look at the point difference there. Kai and Daniel, Kai and Ethan.
Bit of a lead growing for us.
Yeah, he's about 10K behind, one man behind as well.
I noticed that a fair few of his games actually. It was, I think it was the game before he was behind against Johnny, but I guess it didn't matter in the end as long as you can still make it and I guess go the distance. But early stages still, so you never know what can happen. Ooh, close one there.
They're just going back again, and this isn't, again, not to, there's plenty of people put into this community like Billy and Walter in various ways, but I think it's really important to sort of embrace players coming through, and obviously Alan's been hugely embraced by the Donkey Kong community. He's fast to become sort of an entertaining player to watch.
He's an icon, man.
Yeah.
He is the shining star of dedication in the Donkey Kong community. Nobody's as dedicated as Alan. He's played more than anybody. He's literally got more logged out. Maybe not Robbie at this point, because Robbie plays and plays and plays and plays and plays and plays. But as of last year, he had more time than Dean. Wow. That's amazing, dude.
Yeah, well, Robbie Lakeman, I mean, to find a parallel analogy, you don't become as good at the guitar as Jimi Hendrix by sitting around doing nothing. You're on a guitar a hell of a lot. And Greg Norman said that he was asked how do you get good at golf, and he said, like you said, 9 hours on a course every day, something like that. It was a job. It wasn't like I'll do it occasionally. And
it has to be that way.
From what I understand, Robbie, he does treat it like a job almost.
And the density of the timing is important too. Like say 9 hours, let's say 20 hours a week for a year, right? That's 1,000 hours. If you do 5 hours a week,
big difference.
For 4 years, even though you put in the same 1,000 hours, the realized goals are not the same. the concentration of your practice has a lot to do with it. And your dad's the king of that.
Yeah. Certainly sounds.
And he's the king of entertainment. He's easily the most entertaining Donkey Kong player on the face of the earth. There's no question.
Well, I think the thing about your father is, Kai, is that I think it's kind of raw. Like it's there's no. It's not a show. Yeah, but if
so
he's angry,
because
he's
we
angry.
all feel that way.
But he just lets it out.
Right.
And he lets his humour out. He doesn't.
Definitely, yeah. He doesn't really get
Just
no
says this,
filter,
does
yeah.
that.
He's an entertainer, man.
And I think it's also how he came to it. You know, like, you know, he saw King of Kong and built a
that's
machine. Like it all came from scratch. And he told me his goal was just to take Steve Weeby's son's score.
Yeah, that's it. Back in the day,
So
like
it's as simple as that.
87,
Yeah, something like that.
500. Yeah, that's right.
So it was just do that, and it just grew and grew into this. You know.
Yeah, who would have thought me taping that one show could have led to this now? So
Yeah, how about it?
it's crazy. But
Here we are.
finals, too.
But on the other side of the coin, Estelle deserves it as much as Alan, man.
Yeah, I was about to ask about Estelle. I don't know his history really at all. Estelle, like.
He's been around. He had his first kill screen before the Kong off one.
Oh, okay.
And then he made a push for $1 million, and he got like 996. Came up like 3,000 points short, and stopped playing. Sold his cabinet. Took like 4 or 5 years off to be a family man.
He's back
And
again.
earlier this year, he decided that he wanted to get that $1 million finally, and he started grinding, not playing, multiple hours a week at 1.1. So he deserves it just as much as your father.
Yeah, two great plays. Yeah, I reckon it's so good you guys both came out to come to tournament here.
Oh yeah, I'll be back. No question. I'll be back next year, 3-4 weeks. Gonna go see all the sick beaches and
You won't see all of them.
kangaroo. No, of course
Way
not.
too many for that.
Giant red kangaroos and
Any
Oh,
highlights of the trip so far, or besides this, of course?
I have a not safe for stream highlight that I can't talk about. It was really good. The brewery tour
I know
was
what you're
amazing.
talking about.
Yeah, the brewery tour was amazing. Just seeing all the people, man. People watching. The cultural diversity is so different here because, like, you guys have a very large Asian population that's not represented like that in America. No. The majority of our immigrants were either African American or Hispanic. I mean, we have a decent European population, but they're now just considered American because they're second, third generation.
Okay.
So and another major highlight is just the general atmosphere. Everybody's so friendly. Everybody's so kind here. You'll bump into someone and they'll look at you and be like, "I'm sorry." And it's like, I bumped into you. I'm sorry. And they're like, "I'm sorry." And it's just like, oh my God, everyone's so nice. Everyone's so nice here. The cities are beautiful. The coastline's beautiful. Vegemite's kind of creepy.
Still not a fan of it yet?
I'm not a fan of it. No, I don't need it.
How about fairy bread? Is that
Fairy
hooked you onto
bread.
that?
Fairy breads, we need them.
Oh, fairy bread.
Fairy bread.
It was a thing you had as a kid at parties and stuff.
Yeah, that's it.
Alan brought it to Kong Off 3.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, okay.
And we're like in the event, and he's like at a table, like
Making fairy bread.
fairy breads.
Yeah, it was a real thing in, like, when you're a little kid in parties, it was always there.
Yeah.
Probably not now, I don't know.
Nah, not as much, I don't think. But
And the
Parties
beer,
are-
going back to what you're saying, the beer scene here is amazing. They have amazing beer in Australia.
Well, it wasn't like that for a long while. Like, the big brewers sort of brought out all the independent ones, but now they've
Really?
all come back again.
Yeah, it's all research. Oh, and the arcade culture. I mean, okay, we're here playing video games, so everybody just assumes this is it. No, this is just the tip of the iceberg. This is the pinball capital of the Southern Hemisphere.
pretty much, yeah.
There's arcades all over the place. There's VR arcades. There's regular arcades that are open till 4 in the morning. We passed a flea market the other day that had classic consoles for sale.
Oh, really?
And you're not a nerd here when you do this stuff.
And not
In
what's
America,
up?
you're still pseudo-marginalized. Now, Twitch is kind of breaking
yeah.
down that wall, but here, everybody embraces it.
Yeah.
You go to the other side of this bar and you see like tons of young hip people having a blast.
Well, I think a good example of that is, a small example of that is, and not it's boring to talk about myself, but when I took the world record on Gallagher, that made page 4 of Oh, that was well done. That was page 4 of the two major newspapers, of the Sydney Morning Herald.
Really?
And I was on TV for it and stuff because it was a huge game in Australia, Gallagher. And when Barrow won the tournament in New Zealand, again it was a national article, and whereas Armando breaks a 29-year-old record on Gallagher.
That's like an imaginary concept in America.
Yeah, and you can't, like, there hasn't been covered. Like, now I've written articles on his 6 million score and ran him through TG, but I sent both those scores, his marathon, I sent him to Kotaku, Australia. Both times they covered it. Can't get a coverage for either from the UK or from the US, So it says something about, there's a different, I don't know, it says something, you know what I mean? Maybe it's a smaller population base. Yeah. It's not like we're short of news here, like there's plenty of things going on.
The bacon's really good here too. It's regular bacon and Canadian bacon in one giant piece.
Yeah.
My wallet is not over there anymore. Please say this. It is all.
That's why I'm putting it for you. I don't want to lose it.
Fuck, I can't get any more beers.
Oh, I would have got you. Oh, where's
Squeeze in, Johnny.
Yeah, I'll squeeze in.
No, come in. There's room.
Yeah, there's no room for anymore.
You just gotta have one cheek like I do.
Sure. That'll be alright.
It'll be good. I'll just sit back behind Kai here. I hear the Vegemite's terrible.
It's
not the best.
Well, actually, Barrow would agree. He's a big Promite or Marmite.
Yeah, my dad's Promite fan.
Promite fan?
When I first tasted Vegemite, I was so fucking drunk. I think it was what do you call it, island?
I think you're
Fraser
perpetually a bit
Island.
drunk though when you
Fraser
come to
Island,
Australia, right?
I'm like, oh fuck, I need a sandwich, and then it must be Nutella, Vegemite. What the fuck is Nutella? Put a big layer, spread it all out. Took one bite, and just looking around like, what the fuck is this? And I just started puking my guts out.
Sorry, Johnny.
Estelle's running a stall pattern, and Alan just got beat by a rotten barrel combination.
Jeez, close now.
2 deaths within 15 seconds of each other.
Johnny Bond's changed the
And Alan's
mood.
taking a bottom hammer now too.
Green.
Oh man.
Alan really needs to point.
This is such a nail biter.
It is. Mine's
Squeaky bum time.
Yeah, we all do these ones.
It's puckering as well.
Oh, Alan, you got skills, mate.
He does.
Yeah, he does.
It's clean.
I imagine Alan will go back and watch through his games, will he, on Twitch?
And Estelle's going with the
I think
weeds.
so, yeah. There we go.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Jimmy guys are watching Alan.
Oh, it's the same thing, and he got through it this time. Oh!
That was clean.
Wow.
Oh, and another. Gee. Monkey is not happy today. And another one.
Like a
Gee.
boss.
Nice and composed there.
That's insane.
Gee. Relentless.
I'm killing it. So good, so good.
Oh, nicely done.
That one. Gotta stay nice and composed here.
I'll tap that.
Yeah, that's mate.
Yeah, it is.
I don't know how, but somehow Estelle is almost an entire level
Yeah, I
ahead of
just
Alan
realized
now.
that.
And neither of them are taking bottom hammers, so...
Yeah.
What the fuck, rest is
Wonder where
in
he
the
lost
chef?
the tying on.
Is that really the ice cold beer world record holder? I don't believe it.
Got a few
Ras,
Alan
is that
fans.
you?
Ras, it is. Hey, Ras.
I don't know if it's Ras or not. Crazy.
Yeah, he knows you're here. Of course he's gonna watch.
Now,
It's your mate.
I've been on here for fucking...
Finals brought in a few more.
Nice retreat, Al.
Waiting for that extra.
Yeah.
There it is.
This is where the pressure, like, can get to you. Simple things like spring level, like when you have only one life left and the pressure's building, like mistakes can happen.
Yeah, the springs become a brand new
like
beast
as we
when you're
saw
on your
with,
last man.
your game.
Yeah, Johnny.
Because you know that you're literally a coin
That's
flip
where
away
I
from
showed
death.
Oh.
And it's not even like you can see it coming.
No,
you
you have to.
You have
in
to
the
commit
moment,
in order
yeah.
to be there to lose.
Still a bit of a lead there, but
1:30 a.m. from Captain Lynn.
gee.
Oh! Man, he's getting
They
Gee.
both just had a very similar scenario where they were at that ladder on the 5th girder and Kong threw a wild.
These wild barrels are relentless.
Yeah. He doesn't like it one little bit.
The whole final series has been a fair few crazy wild barrels.
He's probably getting hungry. Kong, because he's just been throwing so many barrels all day.
Guys, have a quick look.
The room's gone.
Phil.
Noticeably quiet, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has. Everyone's
It really has
in
got
awe,
this
yeah.
quiet it's been, I
Crickets.
think. Yeah.
It's glued
Crickets,
to the
baby.
screen. Really intense.
The suspense. Alan versus Estelle.
Yeah, stay there, Alan. Shane Saul was talking about that same, where we've seen Alan Reed finding a bit of a danger. He was saying it's an area he certainly avoids normally.
That's actually one of the unspoken things about this game, that you actually have to kind of have the ability to like tap into a Zen state, because if you're too actively focused on the game, it just drags on forever. Your best games, you will find that all of a sudden you look and you're like, oh, I'm at level 12. Oh, I'm at level 17. I don't remember getting here. And it's like this weird, you have to turn off your active psyche or whatever you want to call that to just suck into the game.
Sorry.
That was crazy.
Yeah, and all the Gallagher, I mean, a lot of games about this, it's talked about a lot of Gallagher, like you get in this sort of state where it's just becoming like a dance or just a rhythm.
Yeah.
Comfortable.
So in this, okay, I was going to say in this situation, I would have taken that bottom hammer just to try and move some of them over to the right.
Alan, no.
Gee. There we go. Second at the same time.
Yes.
You absolutely stop playing.
Cool. Died the same way twice. It's gonna scar him going the same way twice in that run.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
He didn't. Was he in the finals last year?
Oh no, like I'm in the
Semis.
same
Oh
game.
yeah. The same death twice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I can relate to that.
Imagine
Wow.
emotions are up and down at the moment.
Oh, I can imagine.
It just shows you the amount of stress that, like, it's been building all day. We had much higher scoring games leading up to the finals, and they both lost a ton of men and were playing.
I mean, I can honestly say from what I've watched that Matt and Johnny's game had the most kind of his arms and
Yeah.
and stuff.
Dude,
But
Matt
this one-
played like a boss.
Yeah.
He was so calm and steady. Good decision making.
But with the errors in these games, whether they were just fatigued, starting to make little errors, let's say,
And in rough situations too, like that. When you're trying to get up to the top hammer and Kong starts throwing wild barrels and there's already stuff on the 5th girder, there's a lot of potential outcomes, and many of them are not survivable. Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
I think this is turning this camera to the crowd, right?
Yeah. Probably the first game he was really not that consistent compared to the other ones, so he's going to be crushed with that, but
amazing.
Amazing.
Okay, everybody, as you all know by now, Alan Stahl versus Estelle Goffinet. Estelle is the winner. Everybody give it up for him. Estelle is the new proud owner of a brand new car. I'm only kidding. Hold on, let Jimmy tell him the prizes.
So special mention to Johnny Bond for coming fourth. Round of applause, please, guys. I have a $100 venue voucher and a couple of marquees for third place, all the way from Melbourne. The wild card, Matt Tequila!
Come up here, come up here. here, Mr. Personality. This guy's a showman right here. He's a showman. We are so happy that you're here, and we hope to see you in future years.
I reckon you will.
All right. Yeah. A brand new member of our community who knocked it out of the park.
In second place, a legend of the Donkey Kong community, has been in the community for 15 years. Second place, the one and only Alex Cook.
Twist it around. Yeah, a few words, Al.
Ryan Allen. I'm not the thank everybody for coming out and watching the Donkey Kong event. Job well done, and better luck next year. We love you, Alan! We love you too! Next time I need a punching bag next to me.
Did you realise that today the only Australian that won is you? The only Australian that won is you. Import.
Well, there was Matt. There was Matt as well.
Everybody help me say hi to Alan. It's an inside joke. But we love you, Alan. All right, second place. And here we go. The winner of the Australian Kong Off 2, Mr. Estelle. Ooh, what a fucker. And he's my roommate. This is a fix. You want to say a few words?
All right. Yeah, I came down here just for one thing, and that's the community. That's what drove me down here. I expected to play zero DK and concentrate on my drinking. So it's just amazing that this happened, and it's awesome to meet everybody. And that's it. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.
Yeah, so that's a part of history right there. You go down in the history books. Thank you, everybody, and that wraps up the Kong Off 2 from Australia Netherworld. Be looking for us in England, be looking for us in Montreal, and also in LA next year, March of next year in Los Angeles, New Jersey. Thank you so much for making this event a success. We love you guys, and we'll see you again. Thank you. Thank you.
I'll see if I can get Estelle
if any of you
and
bloody
briefly.
wankers haven't told, I've been speaking in an accent the whole week. That I really don't speak Australian, but I've been pretending to be Australian. This is how I really talk. Can we get every fucking one of you guys up here so we can get a photo all together? Yeah. Come on, everybody up here.
Estelle's going to come
I'm
up.
sorry, everybody down in the pool. Steve's going to be on top. But everybody who had anything to do with the Kong Off, get in the crowd, because we're going to do a photo which is going to break the fucking internet. All right? Come on, everybody down. And Estelle in the front. Where's Alan? Where's Alan right in the front? All right? Come on, get in close. Get in close. Get in tight. All right, everybody, please, get in tighter. I know there's no girls here, so you just get even tighter. Come on. Well, Colleen, you're not a girl. Come on, get in tighter.
Phil.
Again, fuck with this fucking ball, dude.
If you grab Alan,
Yeah, grab Alan.
Can you grab Alan for us, Johnny?
Oh my God.
He's coming. Hey, congratulations anyway.
Thank you, man. This is
What a day.
completely unexpected. I did not come here with the intention of
Al.
actually, like I said, playing much. So, thank you, man. Thank you.
I'll just get Alan. Can you just quick. Alan.
Hop in here, man.
Congrats.
Hop in here.
What a day.
Yeah. Love it.
Not going to hold you up for too long here, just to get a quick wrap up. Shout out to your fans. Well, you got them. You'll be, there's been plenty of people on, cheering you guys on through the stream. There we go. Estelle, you might know some of them. I'm not sure who they are. But,
Yeah, Flob.
now, you only just returned to Donkey Kong after you sold the machine, had a family, or got a family going. And just got back.
After I put up my 999 800, I ended up selling my machine, and I bought one 6 years later, so I really didn't play for about 6 years. And it's like, I want to get this million-point game out of my way. And
so does Al.
Al's got it. He's got it down. And I started getting back into it for a few months, and I finally got it. It's like, it's just amazing. Unexpected, I thought it'd be a lot more rusty than it was. And today, I didn't expect this to happen today.
What a great entry back into Donkey Kong.
It's just amazing. I come here my main goal is to come here to meet everybody, just like I said. This is it.
And Al, played solid all day in the finals too.
I had some shitty balls in the hot too.
Oh yeah, we were watching.
But yeah, all congrats to Red Steel, mate. Yeah, he's always been a good player.
Oh, sorry, I'll move this mic.
Yeah, mate.
Yeah, but certainly entertaining, Trevor. I'm watching you guys play. I think we saw more on the stream of Alan just because the way they'll mix up against other players. There was no intention that we caught. But what a mix up through the day.
Oh yeah. I finally felt the pressure the last game.
I didn't think so. I felt the pressure from him. Alan's so consistent. Always punching out 500-600K games. Me, not so much. Dialing back, run boards to just keep up. Don't want to risk that risk-reward thing. So I was like, I try to dial it back a little bit, try to keep up, and I thought he would smoke me. I really did.
Yeah, I don't think anyone ever had any real, especially after Ethan getting knocked out early on.
Oh, yeah.
Very few shots, Barrow was knocked out, which I'm not saying that, but things that people might have been thinking one way or the other. No one was really sure about this one, but yeah, I was talking to George Riley, and we were talking a bit about it. And, he was talking about your consistency of playing, Al, for the whole event. It's just been spectacular. There were even people coming and saying, Alan Storr, wow, I'm really excited by his plays and getting out of some tight squeezes. But you certainly entertained everyone through the weekend.
I had most of my fun watching Alan, to be honest. I mean, this whole tournament was great. A lot of great players in here. And when you come to bracket, it's anybody's game. I don't care if you're a 1.1 player or a 200,000 player, you're all put on that same RNG, If it happens, if it turns against you, it's going to no matter what.
Yeah, so when you go back, you're going to go to Kong off in the US next one, or now you're back in playing, or you got your million points, one at Kong off?
I'll probably shoot for more practice 1.1 pushing, but
And Big Al, lined off the academy, you're certainly an entertaining guy, and fans love him. And we'll be seeing much more of you next year and various things, maybe an Alan off.
All going well, yeah. I want to thank all the people who donated to the GoFundMe as well. Without you guys, I wouldn't be here, I guess. And all the love and support. Thank you very much. God bless. It was good. Thank you.
It wouldn't have been the same without you here.
Yeah, thanks, mate.
It would not.
Yeah, well, anyway, it's been great, guys. I'm not going to hold up here on the bench. Feel to stay, but I'm sure you'd rather be out there having a few beers and talking some stories.
Yep.
So I'll let you guys and I'll join you soon.
Yeah,
sounds good.
And also, just quickly, Al, I had Kai on here on the bench through the whole match. That was great. We had a good chat.
Oh, wow. That's
He was
good.
going for Estelle, but...
That's all right.
No, he wasn't. No, he was good, and he was giving good insight to the game and stuff. So it was, again, like another player coming through. And he said here, coming this weekend, sort of turning into the game a bit more again. He said he hasn't been playing as much. So
Yeah, that's
he
right.
might see more of him in the future. Cheers, guys.
Beautiful.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Catch you soon. Might join us. Jimmy, you can say thanks.
Absolutely. Jim.
Jim!
I know what happened. I'm looking for Jimmy just to say, if he works to close up. Or maybe Richie. Thanks, guys, and we're just to sign off here. I'll say thanks on behalf of Netherworld for joining in, but I'll just get Richie on to. I'll get Dave in too. Come in, Dave. Dave James is responsible for building the cab, so in many ways you could say without, especially these two guys in Netherworld, it certainly wouldn't have come together.
Move that around a bit.
But yeah, David James on the end there, he and his other technician, what's your other?
Adam. Yeah.
Adam, last name?
Lee.
Adam Lee.
Yeah.
They build all the cabinets and do all the inside hardware stuff, and of course Richie, no introduction, but just thought a trick to get you guys on. Richie, say thanks to the fans out there, to you and all the other players.
Yeah, well, thank you for everybody tuning in. It was better than I ever expected. Alan Stahl in the finals. Estelle, of course, his talent took over and brought it home for the U.S. This place is sort of like an oasis of just magic in the middle of Australia. I love it. Consider it a second home. Thanks to all you guys for watching. Thanks for Phil. Thanks to Dave and Adam, Jimmy, Ben, everybody. It was a great time. I'm actually gonna go back to the hotel room and now and sleep.
Nah, you're not. You're gonna just.
No, I'm going up back to take a nap. I'm freaking spent.
Then you're coming back.
I'm coming back in tomorrow and playing Space Invaders.
Oh yeah. Those. Now, just quickly while I've got Richie here, so tomorrow there's what's been coming casually referred to as World Record Monday, and tomorrow we're going to see Michael Kidney's going to be on playing Nibbler on an arcade cabinet, going for certainly their first run at what it feels like playing Marathon on Nibbler, and Richie Knuckles, second place holder, the former world record on Space Invaders, going up against John Tannehill, the young talent in the Space Invaders. Well, it's a pretty elite group, really. It's just you and him are the only real sort of strong competitors.
He's definitely going to beat me because I haven't touched a cabinet in a long time.
Yeah, but it's fun to have a game regardless. So yeah,
I have the videotape in my bag if I have to take it out.
But yeah, those that you come back onto this Twitch, that'll be up tomorrow. There won't be any commentary from me. I'm heading out early in the morning, but it'll be streamed, and I think they're going to stream Kibler, as we like to call it, the whole event through the night, and there'll be others here hanging around to support for it. Yeah. So I assume you built that cab.
I did. Another scratch built.
All right.
Yeah.
Well done.
All right, well, thank you.
No worries.
We love you guys. Thank you.
See you all tomorrow.
Jimmy.
Bye, guys. Thank you. We'll see you back in the U.S.
Hey, Jim. Well, just
We made it.
I just want to say a quick thanks for Jimmy for having me up here and letting me be involved.
Yeah, man.
And it's been a great event, and I think we just do a quick summary and we can say goodbye to the people still on there. But
Yeah,
what a couple of days.
Yeah, man, so good. Everything went pretty smoothly. Really thrilled with the patronage on the stream. Like, thank you everybody for watching, for the chat, for keeping the chat going. It just makes it so much easier, and you know that people are watching and involved. So yeah, again, can't thank you enough. Thank you to Phil for keeping the chat going, bro.
No, I did my best.
Crushed it, from what I can tell.
No, it's been a long day, but I've enjoyed it a lot. And, and some exciting games, especially today. Like there's been some upsets and just great gameplay, and my appreciation of Donkey Kong. I never really thought I'd find it as entertaining as I could.
Is that right? No, man, I've been running pinball events for like 6 years now, and this is hands down one of the best events I've run. This one last year was the best event of the year, and it's done it again this year. So potentially bigger and better next year.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, if you want me back, I'll be more welcome.
Man.
It'd be
Lock
a
it
pleasure. Yeah, cool. Yeah, well, anyway, thanks again, Jimmy, and Ben. I had Ben on earlier, so we had a chat, and thanks to all the players and all the fans.
Sorry, Phil. Anyway, safe I can put these at all?
Oh yeah, pass that. Yeah,
Thank you very much.
What are they?
Man,
Alan.
Yeah, no, thank you.
Again, thank you everybody for watching. We'll sign out soon. Everyone's gonna wrap up. I'm gonna have a beer. Phil, man, have a beer? No?
I might have a gin.
Gin, beautiful.
So so that's thanks to everyone, and thanks for joining in, and be sure to tune in. And, I don't know, maybe August next year by the sounds of it.
Yeah, I reckon mid-August next year.
And tomorrow.
Oh yeah, well don't forget tomorrow. So we got Kibby going for the Nibbler Marathon World Record and the Space Off. Yeah, it's going to be pretty good. I'm not sure what time the Space Off is starting, but from all reports, Kibby's starting about 10.
Yeah, probably just check Facebook.
Yeah. We'll
the word will get around.
Yeah.
Well, all we've got to do is have Rich will just plug it out there and get all those incidents.
Yeah, and don't forget, thank you, Dante. Point Blank is next weekend as well, when Tyson Hargraves and Jackson from Melbourne go head-to-head in the venue, so it should be pretty wild.
Big weekend.
Yeah. All right.
Thanks again, guys.
Thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you.